Welcome back to the program. It's lunchtime. Lunchtime today prepared for us from a restaurant called, I think it's pronounced Guest, but I'm not sure. It's G-E-S-T. Sean and Gary here. Sean and Gary?
Correct.
Sean and Gary? Sorry?
Correct, yes.
And pronounce the name?
Guest.
It is Guest.
Yes, the only thing
you know what?
is
You need to speak right into that thing there.
No problem.
Yeah. Why not a U? Where's the U?
The name is an acronym for the four owners.
Oh.
Gary, Eric, Sean, Tiffany.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That makes sense.
We had some difficulty with trying to settle on a name, and this came to us, so we settled, and yeah, the only thing missing is you.
And where are you? Well, thank you. I'll be there soon. Where are you located?
On Parliament Street, 424 Parliament Street.
Okay, cool. And how long have you been there?
July of last year we took over, so opened in August. It's been going well.
Mm-hmm. What am I smelling that smells so good here?
Well, you've got three things in front of you. One is a Newfoundland chicken stew. The other is beef carpaccio, and a fettuccine with a creamy sunflower pesto, and pan-seared rainbow trout.
Okay, that's your carpaccio, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Where's the Newfie what?
Newfoundland stew.
Oh, in here?
Yes.
Okay, no, I can see it because it's in a container. What's in the Newfoundland stew? I'm asking this because my good friend Dougie, who's from Newfoundland, is sitting there going, "What's in there? What is in here?"
Chicken, celery, potatoes, carrots, and a doughboy.
Is this chicken here? The meatball?
That's the doughboy.
What's a doughboy?
That is made out of dough, flour and water.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently traditional in the East Coast.
All right. Mm-hmm. What are the spices in them?
That I'd have to ask my sous chef about. Our sous chef, he recent hire within the last 6 weeks or so.
Right.
And he's really knocking out all of our soups. We're doing the seafood chowder that we can't even, we make a batch and it sells in a few days.
This is excellent.
Thank you very much.
This is excellent. It really is, considering it's just a, what did you say the meatball was? Or
It's flour and water.
That's it.
Yeah, little extra. Helps spice.
So it's all in the spicing then.
Absolutely.
Right, because if I put flour and water together and cut up some carrots and some potatoes and things and put it together, people would say, "Well, what is this then?" there's no taste to it. This is very tasty. If you had to explain to somebody in just a few words or a few sentences what kind of restaurant Guest was, what would you say?
I would say it's comfort food, familiar dishes with a whole new twist, a little Latin touch. Eric, one of the owners, is from Mexico, so there's a Latin influence with some of our dishes.
Right. And how did the four of you come together?
I've known Tiffany. She's the tea and Guest for about coming up on 20 years. We met at an establishment that she was working at and developed a friendship as a result of that. She's since married Sean, and myself and Eric got together. So a business opportunity came up, and we took it. We were crazy enough to do it.
So do you all have some restaurant background?
Yes, we do. Yeah, probably close to combined, maybe 100 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, it's not our first.
So now, when you've got four people who all understand food and if some, I guess, more than others, the preparation of, is it a difficult task to sit down and decide what you're going to have on the menu?
I think in the beginning, there was a lot of ideas.
Trial and error.
Shaking his head, going, yeah.
We're four people mainly from the floor, so we were lucky enough to have our chef with us since day one. He started out as the sous chef, and now he's taken over the position of chef, and is doing a fantastic job for us. The commitment and the passion he has for our business is astounding.
So it sounds like it's a great collaboration of four people. The good thing is that and don't get me wrong when I say this, the two of you at least, you're a little bit more mature.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm and nothing against people who are in their 20s or late 20s or early 30s, but it'd be a little bit more difficult to be maybe a little bit more ego happening there, and a little bit more conflict. But the older you get, the more mellow you kind of become, and the more pragmatic you are.
Absolutely.
So you agree with that?
And experience as well.
Well, experience, exactly.
I hear people in their 20s say, "Oh, I can't wait to open up my restaurant," and I encourage it as much as I can. But the realization is that this didn't happen for the majority of us until we were in our 40s, and it took a long road of hard work to get there, and continues.
And initially, when you opened up, did you get the kind of reaction that you thought you would, or that you hoped you would?
We were welcomed with open arms by the residents of Cabbagetown.
Yeah.
Tiffany has a long work history in the neighborhood. And the establishment that we took over had a long-time customer base. So we were, welcomed to the neighborhood with open arms, and it's been getting better and better, and really more part of the community.
Is there anything on the menu that actually uses cabbage?
Yes. Yeah, we do our cabbage slaw that we put on our braised pork belly sandwich. And we're doing specials with cabbage once a month or so.
Well, I think it's only fair.
One of our regular customers pointed it out in eloquent terms, a few F-bombs.
Why?
That we should, and we did.
Well, I'll stay away from that for now. Why is the neighborhood called Cabbagetown, by the way? This is a little off the beaten track in terms of we're here talking about your restaurant, but just, do you know offhand?
They used to, I believe it was mainly Irish and Jewish neighborhood back in the day.
Well, there's two big consumers of cabbage right there.
And they would grow it in their front yards, and that's the story I've been told.
Right. So. Okay. Just like in Mississauga, there's an area called Applewood, because at one time it was all apple orchards. So okay. Well, so and if you opened up a restaurant there, of course you'd have to have apple on the menu. But this is getting silly. Let's talk about some of the other items on your menu and how often you change them. Let me see that. How often do you change your menu?
We're at about a clip of 3 to 4 times a year.
Mm-hmm. Minor changes to match the season.
Yes. Yeah. We keep our mainstays, our steaks, our burgers, our chicken sandwich, and so forth. Chicken schnitzel has been a hit since day one, so why take it off?
Yeah, no, well, exactly. I mean, and I ask this of all restaurants who come on the show: is there one thing on the menu that if you took it off, there would be a revolt by your regulars?
We've actually had a few dishes that we've tried to switch up, and there were a couple of upset people. But nothing. Just because it's gone now doesn't mean it won't come back next year.
Right.
So.
And you've got some entertainment happening there as well.
We do. Yes. Every second Thursday we host an open mic. One of our employees, Porter, she has worked in Cabbagetown for many years and has done this at other venues. So we welcome local entertainers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and that happens from 9 to 1. And then every Sunday we do a jazz.
Oh, good.
From 4:30 to 7:30.
Never a cover.
Well, you should book the bill in to do your jazz thing there. This beef carpaccio, let's talk about it. A lot of people who've never had it, when you tell them what it is, it's raw beef.
Yes,
will walk away with it as though it's a plate of poison. But there's nothing. There's no risk involved at all in the consumption of carpaccio.
Absolutely not.
And why is that?
It's tenderized beef, and then we shave it down.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the grade of beef that we get, when you're talking, everything must be cooked medium rare, so forth and so on. That's your hamburger. That's your chuck. When you're talking rare, we invite people to have rare steaks, medium rare steaks, because we buy top of the line quality steak, AAA Canadian steak, and that's what we use for our carpaccio as well.
I just had it. Just pretty good. And what are the additives you've got on? You've got a little bit of Parmesan cheese.
Yep, a little horseradish, a little lemon, little oil.
Are these capers?
They are capers, fried capers. Yeah.
Fried capers.
Fried.
Better than potato chips.
We'll try that during the commercial break. We're going to be back. Sean and Gary are my guests. They are two of the proprietors of the local GEST Restaurant located on Parliament. For those of you who remember the old Ben Wick's restaurant, which was located kind of like a half story down, that's where the folks at the local GEST are. And we're going to talk more about their tremendous food here. Pasta that I just tried. But you've got a special fundraiser, Gary, tonight that you're doing.
Yes, we do. One of our customers and friend, Mike, was involved in a motorcycle accident on October 30th. He was actually going out to the Queensway to pick up his Halloween costume. for the party that we were hosting on that night, and was hit by a vehicle. Quite severe accident. It was touch and go there for a bit as far as possible amputation of a limb, but he's through it. He's had surgeries, and now he's in rehabilitation. So he's going to be out of commission for a while. So we're hosting a fundraiser for him tonight.
Oh, very nice of you.
Yeah, we've done this before in the neighborhood with a ride to Conquer Cancer, and we were able to raise some money for that great cause. And yeah, the neighborhood's really pulling together. Mike's well known in the neighborhood, great guy. So.
Now, you know, which is very popular nowadays, into local foods or locally prepared foods.
Absolutely. We actually had a plot this year at Fresh City Farms up at Downsview Park. We had a 1/4 acre. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, we were growing our own veg up there, which was great. We were producing kale, cherry tomatoes, lettuces, zucchini, lots of zucchini flour. So it was great. We were able to bring that back and use those ingredients in dishes.
Mm-hmm. Terrific. So let me just go back to what I was eating here before I was rudely interrupted. The carpaccio with the Parmesan cheese, and I was right. They are capers in there, but they're fried capers.
They are.
I've never had them fried like that. That's really tasty.
Thank you very much.
That's really tasty. Is this a popular dish?
It is. Yeah. Our menu gets. People don't stick to one thing. I find it's 1 week we're selling 10 things of one item, and the next week it's 10 things of the next item, and so on and so forth. It's it's interesting how people try to work their way through our menu.
Right.
I so believe in our chef and what our kitchen is doing that it's not a hard thing to understand why somebody tries one thing and then wants to move on to something else.
Mm-hmm. No, well, of course. I mean, I think that if you've had an opportunity to sample one or two things, and you think that's kind of cool, well, let's go nuts and work our way through the menu, as it were. The pasta is tremendous.
Thank you.
With the salmon. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it's a creamy sunflower pesto sauce.
And I got to tell you something. Generally, I'm not a big pesto fan.
Neither am I.
I like it, but not. Generally speaking, it's like I can live without it. That works really well with the pasta.
I think it's because he doesn't kill you with it.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
It's very subtle. Of course, your seasonings, and then fresh fettuccine with a fresh trout that we get in from one of our suppliers.
Mm-hmm. And what about your alcohol? Are you doing some craft beers and things like that?
Yes, all of our beers are craft. We've got 12 taps. When we were opening up our name local, we wanted to keep it to as local as we could with our suppliers, beer. So yeah, all small other businesses, independents like us. We have a cider and a few rotating taps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm going to go through some more of these interesting, to say the least, items on the menu. Spicy marinated olives, you got to love that. Totopo. T-O-T-O-Po. Totopo.
Totopo.
Oh, Totopo.
Yes.
What is Totopo?
Totopo is
I've never heard of that, sorry.
It's a refried bean. We add a few more ingredients to it. Robo-coop it up. It comes out, I would give it a medium. Unless you don't like spice, then I'd give it a hot. And we serve it with tortilla chips and a little sour cream, a little cilantro.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a traditional Mexican dish, which is where the Latin flavor's coming in.
So you're right, because you said that at the outset of the interview that there's a whole different mixture, a whole different combination of tastes. It's not, we're not dedicated to one type of food necessarily.
No, not at all. I mean, you have to have your standards, but if you go on our Facebook or on our website, we do a lot of blogs as well. We are and dine.do. Mm-hmm. You can see our daily specials, and they are incredibly creative. Sometimes. A fish and chips gets sold and is loved because our tartar sauce you're not squeezing it out of a package. It's actually a house-made tartar sauce, right, which people really, really seem to enjoy. So.
You can tell the difference when you've had the opportunity to go, oh, so that's what it's supposed to taste like. Yeah, going down the menu again, firecracker shrimp, wonton wrapped tiger shrimp.
Yes.
I'm trying to wrap my head around wonton wrap.
It's like a shrimp egg roll, minus everything else in an egg roll but the shrimp. And then we sparkle our homemade honey sauce on top, which has a little spice as well.
Right. Marisco's Fritos. Did I get that right? Marisco's?
Indeed. Fried seafood, basically.
Calamari, haddock, and shrimp in beer, battered, deep fried, served with a house-made tartar sauce. That's the tartar sauce, so to speak.
Right.
The carpaccio that we talked about. You got our artesian board, cured meats, cheeses, olives, horseradish, fried capers, and seasonal house preserves. It's become very popular lately.
It has indeed.
The plowman's lunch.
Exactly.
I like that because you can sit down and honestly, you know what I like occasionally is going into a restaurant, being able to just not even look at the entrees and say, okay, we got enough on the appetizer list here that I can turn this into a meal with a couple of people. And yeah, soup of the day, the olives, the topo, the shrimp, the Fritos,
well done. Yeah.
the carpaccio, the artesian board, the cheese board. I mean, right there, lay that all out there, and by the time you're finished, you're stuffed. You're full. Yeah.
Well, you and probably 5 of your friends.
Well, yeah, no, not me personally. I don't think Sean, I could eat all of that by myself. House-made beef burger. That's another thing that people are very cognizant of. Is this homemade or is this coming out of a freezer?
No, not at all. It's we have our own meat supplier. Very, very good meat supplier in the city. We use a 70 to 30% medium to lean, which seems to be sort of industry standard these days. And it's freshly made to order. Basically, we do some prepping of it, but it's a fresh burger. We keep it simple as well. We season it very, very simply, and it's a good burger.
Yeah, I love the toppings that are available here. Double smoked bacon, Quebec aged cheddar cheese,
yes,
pickled jalapenos, spicy red salsa, and caramelized onions, as well as gravy. Now, the double smoked bacon, you do this yourself?
No, we buy from our supplier.
Okay, but
we slice it.
Yeah. All right, but it's again, this is a supplier who's doing this for you.
Yes, yeah.
All right, as opposed to you're not just opening up a bag.
Our farm is vegetables, not cows.
Right.
So yeah,
kind of hard to get some cows into a limited space there. I know what you're saying.
Or pigs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here's the one that really jumps out at me as I look at it. It's under the salads: wilted kale and pesto. Now, to me, the word wilted isn't something like, well, I can't wait to have some wilted kale. How do you get somebody to sign up for that one?
It's gently wilted just with the acidity from the lemon and from the sunflower pesto. Mm-hmm. So it just softens it a little bit, but that's one of the most popular salads.
Right.
Yeah. Goji berries, which until a year ago I had no idea there was an existence of goji berries, but they're quite good. And we top that off also with shaved almonds and chopped peppers.
And goji berries are found where?
I believe in Japan.
At the goji berry store.
Yes. Yeah.
Of course, so silly of me. Right next to Costco. Oh, this is a goji berry store. How could you miss that one? You talk about the fact that your menu changes as you go through seasonal availabilities, let's say. We're getting into this Christmas season now, and is there something special lined up during that? Do you look and say, okay, we need to Christmasize this month somehow?
We do specials closer to the time. We'll be doing turkey closer to Christmas. We also book a number of parties due to our space. We're probably the biggest space, I think, in Cabbagetown as far as that, so we do book a lot of parties. With that, they request special things, so we don't tamper with our menu too much in December because there's so many parties booking. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we're bringing in special stuff that they've requested or stuff off our menu, so we generally wait until after Christmas and then make some modifications.
Well, Thanksgiving had its traditional fare. You get what you get off of your mom's table. You would have gotten at our restaurant.
Right.
So.
Right. I don't know if I asked you this. I don't recall. Are you open 7 days a week?
We are.
You're open 7 days a week.
With brunch on Saturday and Sunday.
That's a tough grind.
Yeah.
It's a tough grind. So what else is coming up? You've got this fundraiser that's coming up this evening, which I think is kudos to you on that. What else have you got coming up that you'd want people to know about, other than the fact that you got this great menu and this very comfortable surrounding?
Excuse me. Next Saturday afternoon, we're having a tree trimming party at our restaurant. So we're trying to start. That'll be a new tradition, inviting guests to bring an ornament that they can leave on a tree, as well with We're doing the Christmas carols. We did the annual thing, which happened at the Benwicks, and two gentlemen who did that for years have continued that tradition. We did that last year. That'll be happening on the 20th, coming up.
20th of December.
Jazz, 20th of December.
Jazz every Sunday.
Jazz.
4:30 to 7:30.
Open
Never a
mic.
cover.
Website?
Yep. www.thelocalguest@gmail.com. Sorry.
.com. No, that's okay.
Facebook presence. Twitter.
Yeah. The local guest. I told you they were in their 20s. GEST. Now, you've kindly brought up a gift certificate that we'd like to offer out in the spirit of the holiday giving to someone. So 416-872-1010 is the number to call. If you can call me and tell me one of the things, just one of the things that I've sampled here in the last half hour, courtesy of Sean and Gary from the local guest, will give you a gift certificate courtesy of them. Not me. We'll just give it to you. I wish you nothing but the best, and I thank you very much for this wonderful lunch. And the people in the newsroom and the people behind the glass will be very happy that they get to eat now that we're finished and I'm out of here. In terms of eating, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All the best. The local guests, right there.